Hello guys, so this is another video for Diablo Immortal. In this video I'm going to talk about the Wildfire family bonuses. I'm going to analyze those bonuses and I'm going to give them a score from 1 to 5 stars. And then we're going to talk about the Hydra. Is the Hydra a good enough family bonuses to justify getting 3 attributes from the Wildfire family? Well, let's check it out. So we're going to start with primary attack damage increase. Then before we start, I just need you to understand how I'm going to analyze this. I'm trying to see how good an attribute can be, and to see how good an attribute can be, we need to look at it, putting it on all 6 gears and getting the maximum percentage. So when I look at primary attack damage increased, I'm looking at it increasing 24% my primary attack damage. Okay, because I need to know how much it can give me to justify getting it. So primary attack damage increased by 24%. Is that good enough? I think that is huge. That is huge, especially for classes that make use of primary attack damage, like Demon Hunter, Barbarian, and Monk. Getting one line of attribute in your gear that already increases your primary attack damage by 24%. Dude, that's hands down, that's 5 stars right there. I'm pretty sure that any Demon Hunter would love to get that one. I think it's really good. So next up we have all skill damage increased by 12%. Well, I really like it. I like everything that gives me a bonuses that I have control of what's happening and when it's happening. So that gives me full control of the bonus that I'm putting on my gear, and that to me is great. And we need to understand that even though the all skill damage is only increasing by 12%, that skill damage can make a lot more damage than primary attack. So raising it by 12% is no small thing. It can be actually something really big, and I'll give it 5 stars as well, easily. There's not much to talk about it because it's so straight up. Like, it's just saying, look, I'm making you stronger by 12%. Do you want it or not? I want it. Give it to me. So next we have damage done to enemies below 30% life increased by 24%. Now here is something that is situational, and we need to take a little more time to look into it. First of all, when I'm looking at those family attributes, I'm looking at PvP, because I don't really think that I need to pick those bonuses to farm mobs in the open world. Like I don't need to increase my primary attack to kill dungeon bosses, or to kill helicarry bosses. Primary attack, increase the primary attack is always going to be good. Doesn't matter which content that you do in the game, it's always going to be good. The same thing goes to all skill damage increased. But when you're talking about damage done to enemies below 30%, yeah, that could help, like maybe helicarry bosses to kill faster and rank higher, but the rewards for ranking higher in helicarry is trash. It's not really that great. The rewards for challenge rifts, they're better, so it could help there. But I really like to look at PvP. I think PvP is the main content for those attributes. I think it's very situational. Like I said, in those first 2 attributes, I like something that I have full control, or as close to full control as possible, of what's happening and when it's happening. I want a bonus that I know when I'm using it and what I'm getting from it. And increasing damage done to enemies below 30% life. Not all enemies, not all players that I fight in the battlefield, I'm gonna put them below 30. It's not gonna happen all the time. But every time I fight an enemy and I have my primary attack damage increased, it's there from the start, from the get-go. Same thing for all skill damage increased. It doesn't matter what percentage of life the enemy has. Every time I use a skill, the enemy is taking increased damage. Now here, first I need to put the enemy below 30%. And that's not going to happen all the time. Sometimes when it happens, I'm just going to kill the guy anyway. You know, I'm just stronger. I caught him off guard. So that even when it happens, it's not useful all the time when it happens. So I don't really like it. I don't like very situational stuff. Maybe it's because I play with Crusader, maybe like some other classes like Wizards and Demon Hunters, they could see more use to it, but I'm giving it 3 stars. So the next one is crit hit damage increased by 18%. How good is that? Well, that's gonna be as good as your crit hit chance, because a lot of people ignore crit hit chance when they talk about crit hit damage, and you really need to get your crit hit chance into the equation because it's a multiplier to your crit hit damage. In this case, let's suppose you have a low crit hit chance, you have like 10% crit hit chance, so that 18% crit hit damage becomes, in reality, a 1.8% damage increase. Let's take a look at it so you can understand. So here we have a situation, an example. Suppose I have a 10% crit hit chance and 0% crit hit damage. Crit hit damage is additional damage to your critical hit, because when you crit hit an enemy, you already do 100% extra damage. So when we're talking about an additional crit hit damage, that's additional to the 100% damage that you are already making when you crit hit someone. So at 10% crit hit chance, we have like 90% of the time, 90% of the times you're doing your normal damage. Your normal damage is 100% damage, okay? 10% of the time, because you have a 10% crit hit chance, you're doing your normal damage plus the 100% of your crit hit damage, and then there's the additional crit hit damage here, which in this case is 0%. So in this equation, we have 90 plus 20 equals 110. So a 10% crit hit chance gives us a 10% increase in our damage on average. Okay? Now, in the second example, we're going to get an additional crit hit damage. In the case of the Wildfire family attribute, a 18% crit hit damage. So this is additional crit hit damage to the 100% that we already get when we crit hit. So supposing we still have a 10% crit hit chance, 90% of the time we're just doing normal damage. 10% of the time we're doing the normal damage plus the crit hit that gives us an additional 100%. And then now we have the Wildfire attribute bonus that adds 18% to the 100%. So now this equation is 90 plus this one is 218 times 0.10 is 21.8. 218 times 0.10, 21.8, so this is 11.8%. So those 18% increased 1.8. Okay? So that's what we need to understand. Those 18%, if you have a low crit hit chance, like 10%, it's going to increase very little. If you have a high crit hit chance, like 50%, that's big, right? So that increases 9%. So it's a 9% increase. But what you need to understand that when we compare to the first two, the first one, that primary attack damage increases 24%, it's huge. And then we have all skill damage increased by 12%, it's also big. And then we look at crit hit damage. We need a high crit hit chance, like 50%, and it's still under those other two. So how good is that? What we need to understand is that it's additional damage. Those 12% increase in skill damage, they cannot be treated as additional damage to the primary attack damage. They are separate damages, but when I increase my crit hit damage, I'm increasing all my damages. All damage that I do is increased by the crit hit damage on average. So what's going to make the crit hit damage good is your crit hit chance, and in this meta, at least from what I can see in my server, I don't see a lot of players with high crit hit chance, so I can't give 5 stars to crit hit damage right now. Maybe when we reach Hell 5 and we start refining our gear, looking for better affixes, then we can raise the stars for the crit hit damage. But in this time, in this moment of the meta, where I see even top players on my server, and even on PvP when I do battlegrounds, I don't see a lot of players with high crit hit chance. So I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I'm removing my webcam for the last one, otherwise we can't read it. So last one is heal party members for 12% on death. I'm not gonna waste a lot of time on that one because I really think it's garbage. I want something that makes me more competitive. I want something that makes me stronger. I want something that makes me win the game. Healing is not a big part of Diablo Immortal. Sadly, we don't have healers. We don't have a lot of healing skills. We have the bandages in PvP, but I'm not gonna get an attribute on my character just so I can plan to die so I can heal others. I'm not planning to die on the battlefield. I'm really not. So if I'm doing in the battlefield the most that I can not to die, then I'm doing the most that I can not to use that attribute. Can you understand that? I mean, even if you make a support build, something that your only reason to be on the battlefield is to help others, um, there are better skills for that. There are better skills for that. And I really don't see myself picking that one. I mean, how useless, how useless must you be that your death is better suited for your party than you being alive with other bonuses? I mean, that can you understand what I'm saying here? If that's one of the best 3 attributes that you can put on your character, then you're like useless on the battlefield because you're worth more dead than alive. That's clearly 1 star, and I'm being the only reason I'm giving it 1 star is because I don't have a half star on canvas here to put it, and I don't feel like editing the star image just to put half a star there. And I'm not gonna leave it at 0. Uh, I'm gonna give it 1 star, and I'm being more than fair with that one. That's just garbage, and I don't see anyone anywhere, any meta using that one. So this is how it looks at the end. We gave 5 stars to primary attack damage, 5 stars to all skill damage, 3 stars to damage done to enemies below 30% life, 3 stars to critical hit damage increased, and 1 star to healing members after death. So I really don't see myself picking 3 attributes from this family to justify getting the Hydra. So now let's take a look at the Hydra. Let's see if it's good enough to sacrifice one of the attributes just to get it. So now let's talk about the Wildfire family bonus, the Hydra. Is that good enough? Is it good enough to force myself to get 3 attributes from the Wildfire family just to use the Hydra? I don't think so. Okay, like many others, I really don't think the Hydra is all that much. First of all, it's hard to use. I'm only looking at PvP, guys. We don't need the Hydra to farm. We don't need the Hydra to kill Helicarry bosses. We don't need the Hydra to kill Challenge Rift bosses. First of all, it does low damage. The only players that I have seen it doing high damage are very pay-to-win players. And my channel is focused on free-to-play players and low spenders. So your Hydra is not going to do a lot of damage, okay? And to use it in PvP, the Hydra is summoned after you kill enemies, and it has a low percent chance. We are still looking if those percentages stack. I do believe they stack, otherwise it's just really bad game design. And even if they stack, let's just assume that you can stack and have a 12% chance to summon the Hydra after killing enemies. How many enemies must you kill on the battlegrounds or in Rite of Exile just to summon the Hydra? And after you summon the Hydra, you have no control of when it's going to summon and where it's going to summon. So that is also very important because the Hydra summons centered on the enemy that you killed that activated the Hydra. So that enemy could be killed very far away from the other enemies. So the Hydra will show up, it will be summoned, and it will last like 4 seconds and then it will vanish. So the fact that you can have no control of when it shows up and where it shows up is already bad. And when it shows up, it lasts only 4 seconds. It spits a very slow fireball that you can dodge and does low damage. So it's just bad, 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 bad. Okay? I would not force myself to get 3 attributes from the Wildfire family just to get a Hydra. It adds no competitivity to my character. It doesn't make my character more competitive. Doesn't make my character stronger. I think I don't know. It's just garbage, you know. And I'm really disappointed because there was a lot of hype behind the Hydra, and when we finally were able to see it in action, it's very disappointing. So bad Hydra. Alright guys, so this is my take on the Wildfire family bonuses and the Wildfire family attributes. Let me know what you think in the comments section. I really like to use the comments section as an extension of my video because the video I cannot talk to you guys, I can only talk to you guys on the comments section. So did you agree with the scoring that I gave to the attributes? Yes or no? Let me know. It's okay to disagree with me. I don't mind. I actually enjoy a nice conversation. I like to exchange ideas with other people. So I welcome you to go to the comment section and discuss with me and the other members of the community about scoring. How would you score those attributes from the Wildfire family, and how much do you like or hate the Hydra? Okay. Well, I'm gonna analyze all the families, and I'm doing videos just like this one. So keep checking out the channel. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe and share this video with others so you can help the channel grow and so that YouTube can recommend it for more players. I would really appreciate it. See you next time.